So I was sleeping in an out-of-the-way place, not bothering anyone. But an oogly old woman that didn't get no touch was wearing a miner's helmet. She had a light on her head. She was wearing a miner's helmet, and she found me, and I had to leave the out of the way, not bothering nobody place where I was sleeping. I went down to the one drop-in center in the entire city of New York, and I say that like that because other cities have multiple drop-in centers. Like the same way that New York City doesn't have a day labor office, not in any of the 5 boroughs, or even in Hoboken, not one day labor, not one labor ready, not one labor smart, not in any of the 5 boroughs, nowhere near a train station, and not in Hoboken either. I went and I got a big bottle of water so that I can go to the water and cry. And once I got the water, I changed my mind. I was going to go to the water, I was going to smoke, I was going to pull a little THC vape into my lungs, and I was going to feel safe and medicated and cry. Once I feel safe, I was going to cry. And then once I got the water, I was like, you know what, I should go down to this. Maybe I have enough emotional energy to find where I can sign up to speak to a judge, like Mr. Rogers spoke to the Supreme Court or whatever. I figured maybe I could speak. Hey, look, it's Sarah Palin. It's a Sarah Palin-ish looking person. So then when I got down to the courthouse area, this is the courthouse area. It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs out here. There is a young African American male skateboarding on top of the monument fountain, and I was like, okay, so cheesy as it may be, okay, so that we're supposed to believe that. I don't know what we're supposed to believe, that there's this boy, he's grinding, not just skateboarding on top of it, but like sliding down the banister with his skateboard by himself. When I got there, I was like, well, where can I get a hot tea? Because after I brush my teeth, I like to have a hot tea so that way I could clean down the hysteria. And look at this guy looking at me like he knows something about me. Anyway, I'll tell you where I'm not going. I'm not going to the family courthouse where Jason Bourne, who has to talk, did the horrible thing that made Mark Webb forget his memory. So the Starbucks is obviously closed, and they're looking at me like I don't know it's closed. Like it's obviously closed, you know, like. So it's and I was like, oh, is it a holiday? It's the day after Father's Day. So are we done here, guys? Can I go to Jerusalem and go to the giant golden transparent gold cube where Jesus is where the Lamb of God is enthroned, and can I stop worrying about dying, and can I do push-ups and sit-ups for 8 hours a day with a lunch break, and can I write poetry to communicate my inner true self to a girl that I am physically attracted to, and can I earn a living by doing sit-ups and push-ups for 8 hours a day so that I can pay rent and a place to live? Can I Or should I go back to the stairwell where I was sleeping and knock on the door and tell them, hey, I went to the courthouse and I went to the city and there was no one down here. It's 8 o'clock. It's not like 6. That's a $150 noise complaint ticket. That's between $50 and $300 that guy owes the city of New York. And since this looks like I'm the only one here, I mean there are bodies around, but I guess that's $300 that's supposed to be for me, yeah? That's kind of a joke. I don't know if that's a joke or not. All this anarchy and she's, how do I say this? All this anarchy and still nobody's taking anybody by force. I guess then we're really good people. We're not just afraid of getting in trouble. We actually don't want to hurt each other. I guess we don't want to hurt each other. I guess we're actually, at least one person is like sort of considered. The name of that building behind me is called Titan Point. I always imagine that a giant exoskeleton will drop out of the sky like in the game Titanfall. Look, he's like, just kill half of everybody. That's what, let me block his face. That's what his shirt says. His shirt says, Thanos is snap. Oh, piece of cake moving in storage. This is sucky. Or someone has sucked all the life out of this environment, I guess. I bet you that somebody sucked all the life of this environment and then they took all their clothes and gave it to me so that I could be wearing that I did it. I guess we'll look for should we go